On today's Pipeline vlog, why doing a long-form hyperanalysis is problemsome, which begins to sound like a legal analysis, and it kinda is. Every now and then on the website, I like to do something I call a hyperanalysis, which is basically to take a single page and overanalyze the crap out of it. Most notably, the first issue of Mark Waid and Mike Wieringo's Fantastic Four run, issue number 60. I've done the first, I think, 4 or 5, maybe 6 pages worth of those. And honestly, I have enough ideas to do the entire 22-page story, I believe it is, page by page. Each post would be a different page, and each post would cover whether it's the art, the story, the lettering, the coloring, the storytelling style, the choices that are made by one of the creators. All of that is up for grabs, and all of it is doable, and all of it I could write about. Would anyone read it? I don't know. When does that ever stop me before? I just write because I like to write the stuff. But here's the minor problem with this, and I mentioned at the teaser before, it's a little illegal. I would have to reprint the entire comic book to make this happen. I've been very careful in the few pages I've done so far not to just reprint every page of the comic. I've grabbed isolated panels here and there. I've left a couple panels out along the way. I've discussed them, but I haven't necessarily shown them, just because I don't want to get to the point where I've ended up, scanning in and reprinting the entire comic book on the website, because that might open me up to, we can go into the benefits and usage of fair use, I should say. It's important, especially for sort of a journalistic entity like PipelineComics.com is, and I'm sure I could very easily make the case that it is fair usage for me to reprint each page as I discuss it in a relatively long form. But, I don't want to get a cease and desist letter from Marvel or Disney or anything like that. Not that they'll probably even notice it, but I just kind of would feel weird about reprinting the entire issue. Now, the obvious solution to this is to get Marvel or DC's blessing on it, which I doubt will ever happen. I don't want to go through the lawyers. The other obvious blessing for this would just be to have Marvel print a book with all the hyperanalysis next to each page. And I really think that's reaching, because I don't think anyone wants to read that book. So, the hyperanalysis. I like doing it. I think there's a lot of stuff there to cover. And I think I'll just be covering it in bits and pieces as we go along here and there. And I think I might end up still doing the entire issue of Fantastic Four, but I'm not going to do it all at once or rush to do it all in one big bunch, because that would look even weirder to all of a sudden see 5 or 6 pages in a row reprinted in 5 or 6 articles in a row. Or maybe I'm overthinking the whole thing and I should just let the EFF defend me if I get a cease and desist. It's just not worth the trouble. Honestly, I've got enough stuff to write about. Plenty. But that's the reason why the hyperanalysis has been a little bit slow. I have done longer form series before. I reviewed all of Todd McFarlane's Amazing Spider-Man issues. I did the first, 15 or 16 issues of J. Scott Campbell's Gen 13 series, all of which I might someday republish on PipelineComics.com. I have the rights back to it now, so I could. But I'm in no hurry for that. It's an awful lot of stuff to just throw out there, and it's relatively new. It's been in the last 5 years, so a lot of you, I have a funny feeling, I've probably read that already. But that's the current state of hyperanalysis, and you'll probably see more. It might be isolated pages from isolated comics instead of every page of one comic, but I like doing it, and there's plenty of room for it, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know, drop me a line, Augie@PipelineComics.com, or just leave a comment below, or Pipeline Comics on Twitter will work. And if you're still watching this on YouTube, thank you for making it this far. We're over 4 minutes in. Subscribe below, because I need some more subscribers so I can get my youtube.com/PipelineComics. That would make me very happy. Thanks, all of you, for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.